Okay. All right, so go ahead and find a comfortable place for you to be. You can either sit on the floor for some centering, you could stand, you could sit at a chair, you could lay on your back on the floor, whichever feels right for you today. So I'll be here guiding you through just a little bit of centering to start with. So get yourself comfortable, either seated or lying down somewhere. And we'll just start to close the eyes down or set a soft gaze somewhere in the room. Start to notice your breath. Just feel the touch of the air moving in and out of the nostrils. And then start to follow the breath down a little bit more into the lungs. Bring your awareness inside to the lungs, feeling them fill and expand as you breathe in and contract and deflate as you breathe out. Maybe following the breath a little further down into the belly. And bringing your awareness to your belly. And if it would feel good to you or useful, you can place your hands on your belly. And feel it rise and fall with each inhalation and exhalation. Your belly is pressing into the palms as you inhale and deflating and moving back as you exhale. And if your hands are on your belly, you could let them rest again. Bring your awareness to your side body, so your ribs. As you inhale, feel your ribs moving away as your lungs fill up, and then feel them sliding back together as you exhale. If you'd like to bring your hands to your side body to feel that, go ahead. Keep your hands at your sides or let them rest. So maybe you start to notice as you inhale, you feel the belly rise, and then the ribs move away. And then as you exhale, you feel the ribs move back together and your belly deflates. Maybe you also feel some movement at your back body. Depending on where you're sitting, if you're lying on the floor, and you might feel your back press gently into the floor. See if you can bring your awareness there. And feel that breath move in and out all the way around the core muscles, the front of your body, the sides, the back. Now release that awareness from the movement of the body and come back to your nostrils. Scan your body, maybe starting at the head, moving down, noticing all the places where your body is touching a chair, a pillow, your mat, the floor. Coming into this space, into this place that we'll be doing our practice tonight. Continue with a few more deep, full breaths, allowing the inhale to flow directly into the exhale. And maybe here you'd like to set an intention for your practice, setting one with kindness, curiosity, and compassion for yourself, for your practice, for your body and mind. And then we'll start to invite some gentle movement into your body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, ankles, and wrists. And if you're not already, go ahead and come to your back. Lying on your back, knees bent to begin with. You can have your arms out to the sides. You could have your eyes closed still or set a gaze towards the ceiling and start to rock your knees from side to side. And notice if you walk your feet out to the edges of the mat, would that feel better? Or would you like your feet to be closer to each other? If you're sitting in a chair, just come up on your toes and start to rock your knees from side to side. And once you're doing this movement, see if you can start to link the movement with your own breath. So inhaling as you swing your knees over to one side, and exhaling as you go to the other side. Moving at the pace that feels good to you. You could also add your head into this movement, maybe rocking your head opposite from your knees. Start to bring that blood flow, start to bring some movement into the bigger joints of the body. Breathing deeply. Good. And we'll pause here. And then if it feels all right for your low back, straighten your legs out. So if this is pinchy for your low back, you can always bring your knees up, or even one may feel better. So if you're stretching your legs out long, reach your arms overhead. Reach out, start to extend out through the fingertips, reach out through the feet, breathe, really extend out through the toes, through the fingers. Keep breathing. And on your next exhalation, release all of that. Pause and rest for a moment. We'll inhale again. And exhale, reach again through the feet, through the hands, the fingers. Breathe. On your next exhalation, release. Good. Now take your left knee, bring it up. Grab a hold behind that knee or on top, wherever feels best for you. Squeeze that knee in toward your body. I like to take my knee out wide to give my belly some room. Breathing here. Good. One more breath. And we'll extend that back again. Reach out overhead with the fingertips. Reach out through the feet. Good. On your next exhalation, release. And gather your right leg in. Bringing that in towards the body. Breathing here. Good. One more breath. And slowly release. Reach your arms overhead. Extend. Good. Relax. We'll start to link breath and movement again. So I will start by exhaling, bring my left knee in. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, right knee in. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, left knee. Move at your own pace. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, right knee. Overhead. Exhale, left knee. Inhale. Keep going at your own pace with your breath. When you finish with your right knee, come back and rest with your arms outstretched if that feels all right. Take another deep breath. And then go ahead and bend both knees and move in any way that would feel good. Maybe rocking your knees again. Maybe hugging both legs in. And then we'll come into a figure 4 stretch. So take your left ankle, cross it over your right thigh, just above the knee. And maybe this is where you'd like to stay. Pressing that left knee maybe slightly away. If you'd like more intensity, come up on the toe. If you'd like even more, bring your legs in towards your body, either grabbing behind your right knee or across the left leg. Keep your neck nice and long, your back pressed into the floor. Keep breathing. If you're sitting on a chair, you can cross your ankle over your knee. You can even cross down at your ankles if that feels better for you. Feel the stretch that works good for your body. You always can come into a pose, maybe a more intense version, and then come out of it if that would feel better for you. Keep breathing. One more breath. Good, and release your feet back to the floor. Uncross your legs. Switch sides, right ankle over left knee. And this side might feel completely different. Come up on the toe or bring the legs in. Nice long neck, looking up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. One more deep breath. Good, and slowly lower the leg back to the floor. Uncross your legs and go ahead and grab a hold of your strap. And take whatever you're using. You can use a towel, you can use scarf, belt, all sorts of things. Take that strap. Not always is that the most graceful thing to put a strap around your foot. So starting by looping around the ball of your foot, we're going to start to stretch the back of the leg. So you want to have just a teeny soft bend in that top leg. And here you can start at a low angle. If that's a good stretch for you, stay there. Press your foot into the strap, gently pull back. Seated on a chair, you can do the same thing, starting low and lifting higher if you want. So here, start to lift up towards the ceiling as far as you would like to go. You don't want to really jerk your leg back if it's not wanting to go back. You can keep the bottom knee bent, or feel free to straighten that bottom leg, flexing the bottom foot as if you were standing on the floor with it. So breathing here. Breathing into the stretch. We don't want pain. Some stretch, some right at the edge of stretch. That is okay, but we do not want pain. So always come away from that. Keep breathing here. Good. You could stay here and just hang out in this place. Perfectly cool. If you'd like a different stretch, take your straps into the right hand and start to let your right foot fall over to the right. Coming down as far as you'd like. Again, paying attention to your body. You want to try to keep that left side of the body pressed down into the floor. So the hip, the thigh pressed into the floor. If that starts to lift up, maybe you've gone a little too far. Here, if you're practicing this, you can also grab a pillow or some folded blankets and put it underneath the leg if you would like to make it a restorative practice where you're hanging out here a little bit longer. Do that. And when you're ready, start to lift that leg back up towards the ceiling. And again, you can stay here. If you would like to switch the strap over to the left hand, start to let your leg cross your body over towards the other side. And here you can start to roll onto the other side of the body a bit. Again, paying attention to your body, only going as far as feels right. Always coming off of something that is too much for today or forever. Good, coming back up, bringing your foot all the way up. Go ahead, so we don't have to do that graceful foot gathering again, and switch the feet in the air. So maybe you start low again. Maybe you keep the bottom leg bent or straightened. Maybe this side feels totally different. If you want to, you can start to lift that foot towards the ceiling. Nice long back, long neck. Breathing here. If you want more intensity, straighten that bottom leg. Pressing this thigh into the floor. Keep breathing. Good. If you want to, gather the straps in your left hand and start to let your foot drop over to the left. This is as far as I can go on this side with the wall, but I hope you've moved to a place where you have space for that. I just want to be in view for you all. Keep breathing. Good. And then when you're ready, start to come up to center, and you can stay here, or you can flip the straps over to the right hand and start to let that leg fall over to the side. Breathing here. Good. And we'll start to come back up to center. And here you can either take off the strap and set it down, or you can take both feet in and come into a happy baby. Let's see if I can scooch so you can see that a little bit better. Or you can do that with just your hands, grabbing ankles or shins. You can also do one at a time. Just make any movement right now that you would like. And when you're ready, release the strap and slowly come over to one side, and we'll make our way up to hands and knees. If hands and knees don't work for you, feel free to sit on something, chair or pillow, and do these moves that way instead of on hands and knees. So, coming to table, spreading out through the fingers. Imagining you're ripping the mat apart from side to side. And here, if this is too much for your wrists, you can always come up on your fists here. You can also come down on forearms, even bringing something under your forearms to raise you up a bit, if that would feel better. So here, let's start with some cat-cows. So inhaling, drawing the shoulder blades down and back, lifting through the chest, looking up. Exhaling, rounding, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, rounding. So again, move at your own pace with your breath. And you can make these quite big or small. Good, and feel free to start adding more movement into this. So maybe you start to sit back towards your heels as you round, and then as you inhale, coming forward along the mat. Maybe you do this kind of movement. Maybe you circle your hips. Listen to your body. Make the movements that your body wants. Make them big or very small. If you're circling your hips, make sure you go in both directions. Good, and then come back to your neutral table position. And here, we're gonna take a little bit of a twist. So I'm gonna turn so you can see me a little bit more. So here, I'm gonna start by taking my foot out straight to the side, so 90-degree angle, and I've got my foot pressed into the floor. So I've got the whole sole of the foot, so I can feel the outside edge and the inside edge. So here we'll start, and then if you'd like to bring a twist in, go ahead and lift that same arm up overhead. If this is too much having your arm there, you can bring your hand to your waist. So we're gonna pause here, have a little bit of breathing. Now hold poses just a little bit longer tonight. If you want to, you can come out whenever you want to. You don't need my permission. Keep breathing. Good. And when you're ready, come down as you exhale all the way to the floor. Maybe here, throw in a little cat-cow. And then come back to neutral and bring your other foot out to the side. Press it into the floor. I'm going to turn back this way. And you could stay here. If you'd like, you can come up, bring your hand in your waist for a little bit of a twist. If you want a bigger twist, bring your arms straight up. Find what works for you. Breathe here. Good. And then on your next exhalation, come all the way down. Bring your leg in. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Good. So here, we're going to do options. Option is to come into down dog if you'd like to. So you can either, we're gonna all meet in forward fold, standing forward fold. So you could come up in whatever way makes sense for you. If you'd like to add a down dog here, bring your hands out wide, fingertips spread, press into the big finger mound, tuck your toes under, and send your hips up towards the ceiling. Bending the knees as much as you need to get a nice long, strong back. Maybe you pedal out your feet a bit. You can hang out here for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, you can either walk your hands to your feet or feet to your hands, which is what, my hands to my feet is what I like to do. And then coming, bringing my feet a little bit wider, pausing in a forward fold. And then bending my knees, pressing my feet into the floor, rolling up slowly, especially if you are upside down. Nice and slow. Good. Let me fix my camera. And we'll come to mountain pose. You can see me a bit. So coming to mountain pose, feet are about hip distance apart or so. They can be a little bit wider if that feels better for you. Pressing down into the floor, engaging in the outer edge of the foot, the inner edge of the foot. And feel free to close your eyes if you'd like to feel this, or not, your choice. And breathing into the belly. Shoulder blades are down and back. Shoulders are away from the ears. Lifting up through the top of the head. Nice strong engagement in the core and lifting the pelvic floor. Breathing here. Good. And come to the top of your mat. I'm just going to turn this way to the top of mine so you can see me. And here we'll do a couple of half sun salutations just to link some movement with breath. So if you want to, you can grab some blocks or books or something if you like those to come down to for your forward fold. I like to sometimes have blocks, but also as I forward fold, I tuck my belly to make a little more room, and I let my feet go a bit wider to make more space. So find your Tadasana, your mountain pose here. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold at the hips, bend at the hips, come all the way down. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we'll do that again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. All right, we'll start with a warrior one. So feet are about hip distance apart, starting in warrior or in mountain pose. Maybe a little bit wider if you like to take a little wider stance. So here, you can start with your hands on your waist. If you'd like a little support, feel free to put a chair in front of you or something like that to hold the back of the chair. Also, being next to a wall is nice, so you can use the wall for some support. So here, we'll begin by stepping back with the left foot straight back. So like your feet are in railroad tracks, straight back. And here, my back foot is at a slight angle, so my toes are pointed roughly 45 degrees out. And my hips are generally pointing forward. They're not going to be straight forward, but generally forward. So this is a warrior one stance. So I'm going to bend the front knee, keeping that knee over my ankle. And depending on how your knees feel, you can go a little bit closer stance. If you'd like, you can go a further stance. So find what feels best for you and what you'd like to be doing today. I'm going to go right in the middle. So here, let's pick the arm variation. So you could come into cactus arms. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. Cactus arms. You could have your hands at heart center. Hands can be straight up overhead. And if you'd like to add a back bend, extend up tall through the top of the head and then bend backwards. So you pick your version, your arm version. So this is what the back bend may look like. All right, breathing here. Like I said, we're gonna hold the pose a little longer tonight. Come out if you need to, if you want to. Bring your awareness to your feet. Notice the outside edges of both feet pressing into the mat, the inside edges of the feet. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Draw the thigh bone in towards the hip on the front leg. Engage through the core. So if someone were to try to tip you over, you would be nice and supported in the core. Nice and tall through the top of the head. And come to your breath at your nose. Coming out if you'd like to. Coming out and coming back in. Your choice. Keep breathing. Good. Notice how the breath feels. Has it gotten shallower? Can you bring it back to a deeper breath? Good. Bring your hands to your waist. Straighten the front leg. We'll come into angle pose. So here, you can come down to a chair or a block if there's something there. You can also bring your hands behind your back and start to fold forward. Again, sending that hip joint back behind you. And come down as far as feels good for you. Breathing here. So I might want to have something in front of me to bring my hands to. I know you can't see my blocks. Breathing here. A little more of a hamstring stretch again. Come to your breath. Is your breath still long? Deep inhales and exhales. You can come out whenever you need to. This is your practice. And when you're ready, press up. If you're pressing into something, you can bend that front knee. Nice strong back, come all the way up. Hands to your waist and step your feet together. Good. Shake it out. Do some hip circles. Good. All right, let us do the other side. So hands on your waist, or feel free to hold on to the back of the chair. And then step back with your other foot. So for me, it'll be my right foot. I'm going to step back and pick the distance. If you'd like to go just a short distance, if you'd like to go here. Bring the feet out so the left foot is close to the left edge of the mat and the right foot is close to the right edge of the mat. Your back foot is at a slight angle, so about a 45-degree angle. Your toes are pointing. Your front foot is pointing straight ahead. Hands are on your waist and bend the front knee. Really elongate nice and tall. Maybe you stay here, hands are on your waist. Maybe you pick a different arm version. Again, coming to your breath. Bring your attention to your feet. Can you feel the outside edges pressing into the mat of both feet? The big toe mound. the heel, the inside edges of your feet. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Engage your core muscles. Deepen your breath. If something gets a little hard, that's where I like to come to. I like to come to my breath and just notice it moving in and out. Again, your practice, come out when you want to, or do something else that might work for you right now. Good. Release your hands back to your waist if they're not there, and straighten the front leg. Don't let that knee lock. Have a very soft, slight bend in it. And maybe you bring your hands behind you. Maybe you have your hand out in front of you to come to a chair or blocks. But start to fold forward, send this hip up and back. So we're keeping the hips facing straight ahead. Come down as far as you'd like. You can do this in front of a couch or something like that and come to the couch. You can have your hands on your back. If you'd like to let your head rest. Bring your awareness to your back foot, the outer edge of your back foot, the big toe mound of your back foot, the outside edge of your front foot, and the inside edge of your front foot. Breathe. Take 2 more breaths here. And you can bend that front knee, nice strong back. Come all the way up. Step your feet together and move in whatever way you want to. Good. Come back to a comfortable standing place. Let's just move our heads around a little. Inhaling, your head looking up. Exhaling, looking down. And then side to side, slowly. Good. And then come back to center. Let your head drop over to the left. And maybe this is enough of a stretch. Maybe you'd like to bring your left hand to rest on your head. Maybe you'd like to reach out with the right hand. So all options, don't pull down on your head, just rest your hand. Good. Come up. Other side. And release. And we'll come down to a seated position. So if you'd like to grab a folded blanket or a small pillow to sit on, so just let your hips kind of be up a little bit. So coming down to the floor. Bring your feet out in front of you. And we'll start by taking the right leg and bringing the foot in to the inside of that outstretched foot. So both feet are, well, the outstretched foot is flexed. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale your arms up overhead, and then begin to fold over your outstretched leg. And then bring your arms however far you'd like. You can also have blocks. You do not have to be folded over very far. And I like to move my belly skin out of the way to make more room for my fold. Let your head rest. Again, coming to your breath at your nostrils. Two more deep breaths. And then look up and start to walk your hands back. So you're sitting up. And we'll take the leg out to the side now. You can bring that other foot in a little bit. And I'm going to take my left hand and slide it along the inside of my left outstretched leg. And then I'll take my left shoulder, turn it up towards the ceiling. So I'm opening up through the front of the chest. And then I can start to draw my arm up straight. And maybe that feels good and you stay straight. Or maybe you'd like to start to lean over into a bigger side bend. So you find the position that feels good for you. You can keep your hand on your waist if having your hand up doesn't feel good. You can have your hand in a more like a cactus arm if that feels better for your shoulder. Do one more full breath. And then swing that arm straight up over, allow it to bring you all the way back up. And then bring your feet both out in front of you, and we'll switch sides. So bring that left foot in. Nice long. Bring your torso in line with that outstretched foot. Extend up nice and tall, reach up overhead, and then fold forward along that leg. And find where you'd like to set your hands. Let your head rest. Breathe here. Do 2 more breaths. And then start to walk your hands back. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Then bring that right foot out at an angle, left foot in. Slide that right hand alongside, inside of that foot. Draw the shoulder open so the shoulder is pointing up. And then if you'd like, you can bring the hands straight up. And if you want more of a stretch, coming over, arm alongside the ear. You can also grab somewhere on the outstretched leg that would feel better. Really opening up through the chest, not letting your whole body collapse this way, opening up this way. So if this is too much for your shoulder, feel free to bring your hand here or here. One more breath. And then bring that arm all the way over, so it'll bring you up to sit upright. Wiggle out the legs and make your way down to your back. And we'll do one more pose there before we find Shavasana. So come down to your back, bend your knees. You can have your arms out wide in a T. Take as much space as you would like. And here we have a couple options. We're doing a reclined twist. So you can stay here and let your knees fall over to one side, if that would feel good. If you'd like a little more intense stretch, draw your knees in and let them drop. So you choose your intensity of the stretch, keeping your both shoulders towards the ground. You can look straight up. You can look over to the opposite direction of your knees. Breathing. One more deep breath. And then bring your legs back to center. Pause for just a moment, noticing. And then rock your knees over to the other side, either letting them fall or drawing your knees in and letting them come over. One more deep breath. And then bring your knees back to center. Set your feet on the ground. And now do any pose that your body really wants to do, that you really want to do. If it's just resting there, if it's doing another twist, anything that would kind of finish up your practice nicely. And then when you're finished with that, find your way to your favorite Shavasana position. So maybe you have a pillow under your knees, lying on your back. Maybe you have a folded blanket under your head. Maybe you're sitting in a chair. Let your arms be out as wide as they'd like to. You can always change positions during Shavasana, especially when you're doing it at home with the mute on. You don't have to worry about bothering anyone. So if something doesn't become comfortable, move. But here, allow your body to rest. Allow your body to be held by either the floor or the chair or whatever props you're using. Let your breath be relaxed and natural. Closing your eyes or setting a soft gaze somewhere in the room. Bring your attention to the movement of the air at your nose. Inhale deeply, and we'll all exhale with sound. Inhale, exhale. We'll do that again. Let it all go. Inhale. And exhale with sound. Rest some more. Let your shoulders move away from your ears. Unclench your jaw. Release any tension from your forehead. Scan your body and notice if there's any places that you're holding tension. Soften and send your breath to those places. And draw your awareness to the top of your head. Maybe feeling an inhalation and exhalation at that space. Down your forehead to the space between your eyebrows. And sending your breath there, in and out. Draw your awareness down to your nostrils once again. And feel the temperature of the air change as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Draw your awareness down into your cheeks, and then soften your jaw, down your throat to your shoulder joints, your elbows and wrists. And then imagining that you can feel your breath moving in and out of each fingertip and thumb. Move your awareness to your heart center. And pause with your breath at that space. Cleansing with each inhalation. As you release with each exhalation. See if you can send anything away that you don't need right now, you don't need to think about or deal with. Keep breathing in that nourishing breath and breathing out all the stuff you don't need. Let it go. Moving down into the belly, feeling the breath there again. That's the seat of your intuition. Fill that space with gratitude. Drawing down through your hips, legs, ankles, and feet. Maybe you can feel your breath inhaling and exhaling from each toe. And then drawing up through the body, through the legs, hips, into the spine. As you breathe in and out, draw your awareness up your spine to the back of your head, then to the top of your head. Now release all awareness, attention, mental efforts, and simply rest here for a few more moments. And now start to deepen your breath. And invite some gentle movement into your body. Moving hands and feet, head, knees. And if you're lying on the floor, begin to roll over to one side and rest there for a few moments. And then taking your time, making your way up to a comfortable seat. And bring your hands to heart center if you'd like. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your practice today. Thank you, as always, for listening to your body and for making this time for you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Feel free to rub your hands together, create some warmth. And then bring that warmth in, hug it in close, all that yoga goodness that you just created. Breathe it in. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. My way up here. And feel free to unmute yourself if you want to. Also, feel free to have a good night and go do what you need to do. So I'm gonna unmute Mom. So thank you, everyone.